Hey Scott, thank you, buddy. Hey Jamie, how are you?
Andy, my long lost friend. It's been so long.
Yes, it has been a long time. It has been a long time. What was this we saw in the market today, huh?
I know,
Yeah,
what's that strange color?
yeah, that long green bar. We
Mm,
haven't seen that in a while, but it was fun, and I'm not going to complain. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys in this webinar that are not going to complain either. Well, hi everybody. My name's Andy, and that's Jamie and Scott. This is the trading studio, and seeing some regulars here and seeing some more people file in. So, hey, David, hey, Mike, Randy, and Bill, how y'all doing? Uh, all right, let's dive in. Before we do, let's go over the disclaimer. All right, we're content publishers here at Trade Ideas, and uh, we're going to be going over some stock charts and looking at some possible opportunity in the marketplace, guys, but nothing should be construed as investment advice. This is for educational purposes only. So if you are looking for that type of advice, seek out a registered advisor or a stockbroker. All right, the agenda for today. Okay, we're going to have the market recap. We'll talk about this nice green bar that we had today and what does it mean going forward. Uh, Jamie will take over and take a look at the Holly recap, look at some of the calls that the AI made. Then I'm going to spend a little bit of time showing you KWeb, which is the China Internet stocks, and FXI, which is, I think that comprises of the top, I can't remember, 30 or 40 stocks in China. Anyway, we're seeing relative strength there compared to our markets. I've always been, back in my day trading days, I was always trading China stocks. China's and solars uh, were my big ones that I really did well. And so anyway, we're gonna take a look at maybe some China stocks and show you some windows that maybe can help you find opportunity. Some of these maybe uh, kind of lagging, so we may find some opportunity there. And then also something I noticed, guys, when in this market where emotions are high, a lot of times, you got to be patient and let the price come to you, especially in the early morning. I see it all the time. So we'll talk about that, and we'll actually build on an alert together, maybe to help us find stocks um, that are pulling back. You guys know I like these little pullback windows that you can create, and find stocks that are uh, pulling back to your level instead of chasing. And then we're going to go through the Armageddon top list. I do have a top list of stocks that are down the most in the last 30 days. Found a lot of opportunity in there recently. Uh, any of you guys that know me know I'm not afraid to do a little bottom fishing as long as the chart has signs of some sort of bottoming pattern. We'll talk about that as well. All right, but before we do, let's talk about our support training and education here for the new people, that may be just coming off the test drive. Just want to let you guys know we do have several venues to get education and training from the traders here at Trade Ideas. You can see the webinars on the left side there, along with the trading room. Okay, this is, if you haven't found that, this is the live trading room. It's free for everyone, so even if you're not a subscriber, you can go to that trading room. Uh, and then we got an array of webinars. We do two. We used to do them every week, but now we do two on Monday and Wednesday on one week, and then two on Tuesdays. And I'm sorry, do another round of Tuesdays and Thursdays the following week. And then we do have our support webinar, which this is daily, guys, every day, Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time. This is where you want to come if you have any questions and you want to see it being basically not just somebody texting you, replying an email and telling you what to do. Is much better if you come to this live support session, so we can show you, you can visualize it, looking at our desktop as we show you, any problems that you might be having. Please take advantage of this, guys. It's like I said, it's every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time, and it can really, and uh, there's no question that's too novice, guys, who's coming in. Everybody started somewhere with this software, so please attend that. All right, let me back out of this, and we'll save the rest from Scott on the way out. And let's pull up. Uh, the SPYs here, and let's take a look. We'll start with the SPYs, and then we'll go to the Qs and the IWM. And all right, so here's the daily on the SPYs, and you can see here I had an alert go off this morning. Well, this is the well-defined pivot level that we have in the SPYs, and now we closed just above it. So there's a lot of work to be done for this, stock market to turn around and be a bullish tape again. It's still a bearish tape. You can see there's been several places where it looked like, oh boy, here we go, back to highs. Nope, look at that. Looks beautiful there. Maybe just go right back down. Look at after this day right here. Look what you got. Well, now we've had three, green bars in a row, and going sideways for a while. So a little bit more of a kind of a building pattern, a support, if you will, versus just one bar here, one bar there, a couple bars. Although we did have about 3 bars there, but now we've come up and we've gone sideways for about 4 days. So typically when you see a pattern like this, when you move up and then go sideways, the next direction is usually up, but that doesn't always have to be a case, especially since this would be considered still a bearish tape. And the reason I say that is because we are below our 50 and we are below our 200 on the daily. Okay, one could argue that, hey, we got the 10 curling around, crossing the 20, which is definitely bullish, but we do have some things to get through. And let's also take a look at this. If you take a look at the trend, I'm always looking at the trend. If you drew it from up here, these are things that you always really need to be aware of. Now this is way up here. You probably could, by the time it gets there, it'll be the 200. But then you also have one right here. Let's see if we're trying to poke through it, which would be this high right here and coming, and we're not there yet. So looks like if we get to that 50 period moving average, we're also looking at a downtrend there that I just drew for you. So a lot of stuff to get through, guys. So don't get overly excited. It's a great day. Nice green, bar that didn't gap up. We've had a few of them here in the last 7 trading days. So if you are bullish, it's something to get excited about. But me, I'm playing it, but I'm also taking profits really quick. And I say half. I take a half off and keep half, just to make sure I bag some, because nothing worse than on a day like this day not selling anything, and then what happens is you gap down half of that bar and you're deer in the headlights, and next thing you know, you lost everything. So until we get back into more of a bullish tape, I think it's wise to always take some off. That's me personally.
Yeah, I can also attest to that, because I got a little lazy here lately and let a little too much slip away, but it's a good slap in the face to go, hey, wake up.
Absolutely. The charting software, this is Trade Ideas. It's part of our software package. So you get this with Trade Ideas. Mac. Yeah, it's it's not as fancy as some of the ones you find out there, but it's all I need. You're welcome. All right, let's take a look at the Qs. Erase these marks and take a look at the Qs real quick. And a little bit further to go, if I drew a line right here, you're going to see we really haven't quite come up to this kind of pivot level. So that's the area I will be watching in the Qs. I like to trade a lot of tech stocks. I like to, I've been bottom fishing a lot of ARC stocks lately, and so that's an area, if we do tomorrow take off in the morning and get to that level, I'm going to be watching real closely, and also have a finger on the sell if I need to sell more of my positions. And don't regard this halted. I'm not sure if this is a NASDAQ thing or is it's something in our on our server that's causing issues, but all the NASDAQ stocks are showing halted for some reason. Yeah, ENPH, loving the solar stuff. Mike C, yes, you're right. I am in DQ. I bought the other day. China play because I knew China was hot. I bought it at I think around. I think I actually bought it on this day. I'm pretty sure I did around 49, just getting above that level. Had a nice day today. But yeah, the solars had a nice move today. You can see they were up 6.4%. But I did sell half that DQ today, but got half of it left, and it looks like it's trying to possibly break out. That's fine. If I get off track, that's okay. We can talk stocks at any time. But Jamie, let's see the Qs once again getting back. That's a level I'll be watching tomorrow. IWM has been showing some strength as well, and you can see there that it's getting close to this 50-period moving average, and kind of squeezed through today. If you drew a line right here, right at it, just closed right above it there. So be interesting to see. And then we got this downtrend. This is something you want to keep an eye on, going all the way back to November. If I draw something right here, I'm always watching stuff like this. And what I'll do a lot of times is just go ahead and put an alert in where it might meet that downtrend. Yes, it looks about right. All right, Jamie, anything you want to add? We're right at some serious levels. It is a Friday. I know in this tape there's some trigger finger, itchy fingers, when you got profits and you see those set in the futures turning over a little bit. I've noticed, boy, the bottom can fall out really quick on a lot of stocks.
Absolutely. See, I was
Yeah.
wanting this day. I was wanting this day on Tuesday. As we came back from the long weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so likewise.
But in any case, yeah, it's a very pivotal area, so it'll be
Mhm.
interesting tomorrow. But as you said, it's Friday, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a nice little green day and a cruise into the weekend, but
Could
be wrong.
Yep. All right, you want to go over some of the hollies today?
Yeah,
Looks like it's kind of a. Go ahead.
there's a teeny bit of commentary to give here, so let me
Okay.
grab the screen from you. Can you hear me okay, Andy?
I hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to get used to a new headset.
Oh yeah. Likewise.
Okay, so you should have eyes on my desktop.
So. Oh, you've gone to 3 time frames now, huh?
Oh, and there's a fourth one.
Oh, wow. The weekly?
There's a weekly back here. So actually I'm watching 5, and I got a 1 minute on the other monitor just for giggles.
Scalping purposes.
Okay, so as we can see here, let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signals from Holly today. And just taking a look at the, moderate and conservative profit. Not exactly lighting it on fire today, but green in moderate mode, green in aggressive mode, and down a smidge, $5 in conservative profit mode today. Typically like to talk about these 3 things if they do occur, and that would be a good place to add to a position. Oops, that's my marker. A good place to add to a position, maybe try to extract some conservative versus moderate spread. So if there's new people out there, when we're talking about conservative and moderate spread, these 2 columns here, and sometimes at the end of the day, the moderate profit number will be much larger than conservative, and we don't really have any of that today. We got a little bit of spread right here in the ALC long. She closed it out for a $13 loser. All you had to do is really be patient. So let's look at the chart here. And I think this one came at the end of the day. So you literally would have had to hold this thing until the close to get that difference there. Well, actually, I take that back. She closed it out 45 minutes. So if you would have held 45 more minutes on the ALC, instead of a small loser, you would have had a winner. Not even a 1R there, about 4/10 of risk, but hey, better to be green than red. And you can see that exit right there. That's what kind of threw me off there. It looks like the sell comes in the 245 bar, but we had a close time of 216 here. But in any case, the number is accurate. So not really much to speak about in spread here. $2 here, $6 there. Now, any add-on opportunity in the EQR trade? Not really. We had an entry bar here. I mean, it just kept on pecking highs and was just a decent winner. On the ADC, maybe a little bit of opportunity if you considered this little consolidation period, looking at these candle bodies right here. That would have been a decent time, maybe to tack on a little bit more right there. Get a little, what would that be here? 70.19, maybe another 30, 40 cents on the table, but certainly nothing to write home about. One of the other things that we like to talk about, if it's present, which we got a little example here, but just like there wasn't a whole lot of spread today between conservative and moderate profit, yeah, a little trade around opportunity in postage today, or pure storage, PSTG here. It's kind of comical here. Kind of feel like Holly trades like a human sometimes. Took a stab at the short on postage, got stopped out. Well, let's flip it around and go long. Ended up having a small loser, so traded it both long and short, and lost a little bit both times. Now on the initial short, we can see right up here the initial short, and then quickly thereafter the stop out comes up here. But what's interesting here is, the stop area. What did the stock do, right here in these areas right here? I mean, it was just hugging that stop area very tightly. So spent a little bit of time, but after you see these wicks get thrown up here, you might be thinking, well, it might gravitate back down. And sure enough, this 15-minute candle right here, it gets punched back below. So it's kind of a second mouse gets the cheese on this one. Got stopped out here, got a little tame. This would have been a good trade around signal because it was nice and tame at that stop area, acting as a form of intraday resistance, and then stays below it the remainder of the day. That's about a point right there from the time of that trade around occurring, or the ideal time for it, to the bottom of this wick. About a point. So a decent trade around opportunity in the PSTG. And unless you're seeing something that I'm missing here, Andy, I think that's about it for Miss Holly today.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, man. You want to pass it back to me? We'll talk about some.
There you go.
All right. All right, guys. If you haven't noticed, KWeb, I noticed just a couple of days ago, it's been battling this 50-period moving average for some time here. Get my little pointer here, and you can see the blue line is the 50, and you can see several places where it could not get through the 50. And then now we finally popped above and out of that range, and a nice little move now to basically almost a 2-month high there in the KWeb. That would be the China internet. And then we have FXI, which pretty much the same picture there in FXI. So, if you're a day trader, I mean, there's a few of them like that DQ. Some of the stocks has been around for a long time. I don't mind holding. I know some people, they don't want to have anything to do with China stocks, but if you can get some incredible momentum in the China play. So I think it might behoove you to maybe keep an eye on these. I know if you have a watch list like Extreme Master Blaster and things like that, they're going to come through there as well because they trade over here as ADRs on our exchange. So our exchange is going to pick them up, right, and throw them on your momentum alert. So that's fine too. But if you're like me and like to kind of keep an eye out for maybe laggers, that we do have a China. If I go in here and go to configure, you're going to see that we do have, clear this real quick, symbol list. We do have a China symbol list. So you can go in here and create a top list or whatever you want to do. I'm not going to share one with you because honestly, this is just something that I think I pulled off our channel bar there. So, but you can just click on China and create what you want as far as a top list or an alert. And I'd like to do this because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll look for, laggers, things that may not be, moving. I saw one right here called NOAA today. I mean, this is one that's really been beaten up. I think it's a broker in China. It's the investment advice, but want to keep an eye out. You can see it's kind of button heads here with this kind of level in the market. I'll put an alert there if it goes through, because you can get some incredible plays on those. So not a whole lot I want to talk about this today, or you can do a momentum scan. Let's see. I think this is in our China thing where you can just look for momentum stocks that are doing high relative volume and hitting highs. There were a lot coming through. There's a DQ that I'm in. Fing had a nice move today, and I don't know why that's not changing. Oh, I know why. It's because it's linked to a different. There we go. No, what's the one I'm thinking of that had a really nice move? Redo had a really nice move today. If you like penny stocks, 20-cent move there, which is pretty big for a $1.40 stock. Actually, nice move the last 3 days. So you can create you a momentum scan but honestly, if I have a momentum scan, I'm just going to have something like Master Blaster that will show me all of them. What I like to do when I'm looking at China, whether it be the channel, I like to find things that may be setting up that haven't really moved yet with the whole sector. Now, and obviously play momentum as well too. Obviously that DQ was definitely not something that hadn't moved yet. This was setting up nicely. So I I don't always bottom fish guy. I will play the strong stocks as well. The only other one I'm in right now, and had a beautiful, as a matter of fact, one of the alerts we're going to build would have caught this today right off that 50 period moving average. But I bought the other day, and then I added to my position today once it got back above the 10. But this is a little China play, which I kind of like the fundamentals. They don't look bad to me, but I don't know if you can trust them. Anyway, all right. So keep that in the back of your mind, guys. And I'll be, we can talk more about this tomorrow when I do the support webinar. If nobody has questions about it, because there is, a lot of opportunity if those China stocks do get moving. All right. What else did I want to show to you today? It is yes, let prices come to you. I'm seeing this over and over again. Okay, like the other day, CF was called in the eye down here at around 92.70 is where I bought it. And I was watching this. The market was doing really well on this day, but for some reason the sector was getting hit, and I saw a nice little level of support. And this is total contrarian play, came down. I did wait for it to kind of turn the corner, and I picked it up and ended up being a nice trade. I'm out of it now because I sold it once it got up here and it could not get through that level again. Has a hard time with that level. But anyway, this is the kind of the plays I'm seeing. And let me explain to you why, okay? Because we've been, like I said, all year in a bearish tape. So what happens, guys? People's emotions, they get emotional and they're scared and they're getting out quick when stocks turn, and you can use that to your advantage. All right. And so if you're looking at a stock that you're interested in, wait for your price. And there's several ways you could do that. You can build a top list on stocks maybe that are close to their 20-day low, that may be in the upper portion of their 1-year range. Okay, that's always a good way to do that. And maybe I'll build something like that for next webinar. But today, what I want to do is just kind of walk you through the mindset that I have when I'm looking for pullbacks. And we're going to use, I've done 10 period moving average before, but we're going to do a 50 period moving average, and we're going to use maybe a couple of little position and range filters, okay, to make sure that the stock is not, it's in a nice uptrend, okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a new low alert, right, and using the 50 period moving average is kind of our entry level, and then we're going to put it to work and see how well it does. So let's just do that right now. We're gonna definitely want to build an alert, because I want to be alerted when these things hit. So we're just going to go into an alert window. And I always like better when we build them together versus me just building them beforehand. It's just giving them to you. So this way everybody learns. All right. So my alert is going to be a new low. So we're just going to set that alert right now and set a new low. Our window specific filters, okay? Price, let's just use a minimum of $5. I'm not going to use a max. We don't care. We just don't, I get tired of playing piss ants, man. They get me in trouble. All right. Let's think about this. Let's think of a 3-month range. I always like that because I mean, a lot of people want to use position in yearly range. Well, let's face it, it's been a tough year thus far. So let's find stocks that are not getting crushed as much as the market. Okay, so let's do the 3-month range, and let's just put in the 3-month range they have to be up 40%. Now I would put 50%, but remember they're hitting a new low now, so I don't want to get them if they're just out of that range. I still want to be able to catch them. Let's put an EPS in here to make sure we're not getting ETFs coming through, or I guess you could look at ETFs if you wanted to. Me, I'm just going to do it for stocks only. Okay, change from 50-day SMA. This is the one I want. Okay, this I want them touching that 50-day moving average. So what I'm going to do here is just bracket it. I'm just going to put a negative 0.05 right here, and then I'm going to put a positive 0.05. So what I'm doing is I'm bracketing this 50-day moving average. So I know if I get an alert, it's going to be right at that 50-day moving average. Maybe a little bit in front of it. That's okay. I can get me a head start. I can kind of evaluate the market conditions and decide if I want to take the trade or not. Now, what I want to do to make sure the stock is pulling back, we know it's hitting a new low, but that's just for today. All right, a new low is only looking at intraday. So I want to make sure this stock is pulling back on the 5-day range. As a matter of fact, I want it close to a low on the 5-day range. So what I'm going to do here is going to come in and put 25 as a max. Okay. If I click on the show me button, you're going to proceed. The price is no more than 25% above the low end of this range. So we know now this thing is close to a 5-day low, if not already on it. All right, it could be through it too. It doesn't matter. I don't want it. I want it pulling back on the 5-day range. All right, so let me see let's get a volume today. Just make sure it's doing a couple of 100,000 shares. All right, and we're going to call this. Let's change these up here a little bit. Let's do change from the close. And let's do relative volume. Make sure it's not getting smashed on big volume. Position in 3-month range. I probably want to see that. No, I think I'd rather see position in 5-day range. So I can see what's pulling back. Could always add that in there as well, but that'll be good. Now let's come in here and let's just do call it. Let's just call it tagging the 50 SMA, and fire it up. And let's see what we got here. Well, we got something too long. Squeeze it in a little bit. And what I always like to do is once I build these is put this on, take off the post market there. And we will go to history and look at today and see what we had in here. And the first thing, early in the morning, I kind of, when they happen that early, I kind of discard it because they're gapping down, although this one did come down and did bounce eventually. Come on, intraday, what you doing? There you go. All right, so there is AT&T. It did tag it right there. Got sloppy for a while, but still, if you're like me and you're a swing trader, you're not worried about another 10, 15 cents against you, but nice little bounce there. Maybe one to watch tomorrow. And that is pharmaceutical. Yeah, I'm not too interested in that, but still, yeah, I don't care for that. I should make it to where it has to be down on the day. I could always do that, go in and change it. Pfizer, beautiful one there. Pfizer. Now, once again, early in the morning, when they happen early in the morning, maybe give yourself a little time. You can actually maybe get a better price. And that was the case in Pfizer, but an incredible bounce there. Now, I do know, the market had a good day. All right. So you're going to see some, probably some decent moves in here. There's Verizon, same thing, went a little bit below, but then had a nice bounce with the market. But that's the thing. People may say, well, yeah, Andy, but look, we had a decent, great day in the market. But that's why I'm saying you don't have to immediately take these. You can see these things gave you some time, actually went lower. By that time the market was already bouncing nicely, so you'd have plenty of time to get in. Amgen took a while once again, but there you have it. Came down, slammed through it, and this one did take a while, but eventually it did bounce. Let's see. Textbook there to a T. AEP, another nice one there. XL, boy, just beautiful right there. Look at that. Boom, bounce. Energy stock. Yeah, if you're looking for energy stocks, that's just a great example. Not only that, look at the support over here. So these are opportunities, guys. If you find chasing stocks in this market has been difficult, there's a reason for it, except for today maybe because we've been, like I said, in a bearish tape pretty much all year. So this may be a strategy that would work better for you because I'm telling you, people are nervous in this market and they will bail quick. WE textbook right there. SO, another textbook. Did I miss my LU was in here? Yeah, this is that one that I was really mad I was doing. I was preparing for, I had a big meeting today and I was preparing for it. And like I said, I was always in there and I really wanted to add right there. But anyway, I ended up adding later. And I will share this, guys, EVRG, textbook. See, the beautiful thing about this is, guys, the markets are below their 50. Okay, the SPYs are below their 50, the Qs are below their 50, but all these stocks in here, right, they're hitting a new low, but they're coming down and tagging that 50. So these stocks have been exhibiting relative strength over the last 50 days anyway. So great buying opportunities. And now trust me, if we get one of those markets like we had, a couple of times, where the market just keeps selling all freaking day, yeah, those are going to be tough. All right, that's just it when it comes to these alerts. Okay, we have the best alerts in the business, no doubt. Okay, but you always have to see, take into account what's going on in the market. Okay, there's never, I always say this over and over, there's not a trade that just works in a vacuum, and they just don't work that way. You have to know what's going on in the market, and these would have been a great opportunity with today, because let's look at the SPYs. Okay, SPYs weren't selling off that, like this. I mean, we opened up a little bit down, but they weren't getting hammered like these stocks were. And then by the time these run, I mean, you could have pretty much gotten all these at a Citigroup right there. Ding. Now it hit it a couple of times, bounced. CRC, this was kind of late in the day, so I'm not sure about that did much. But anyway, guys, we'll put this on real time. I will share it with you, and I'll drop it into the chat room if you guys want to maybe take this and make it part of your arsenal. And I said chat room, I mean the chat panel. Tagging the 50. There you go. And really nothing that complex about it. It's just this is where real-time alerts were trade ideas is, heads above any of the competition out there. They say they have real-time alerts, but nobody has them like we have them, where you can react this quick and pretty much build anything you want to. All right, so let me get a drink of soda pop here. All right, let me see what my next topic is for today. All right, we done that. Armageddon. Now, this is a different type of strategy. Now, I've done really well, trading this, this strategy here. As you can see, I'm in shop, sold half of that today. Netflix, I'm in Netflix from, well, I added to my position. My original position is like around 184, and then I added some, and I did sell half today at the close in Netflix. Path, I'm in that now. Path, I held into earnings. I don't usually do this. I do small size because when they're beaten up like this, a lot of times what I'll do is just, it's probably a bad assumption, but I've been pretty good about picking these off lately. They're just oversold to a level where it's pretty much baked in a lot of cases. I just did sell half today though. But anyway, I found a lot of these I have traded off of this Armageddon top list. And all it is take a look at the configuration. It's stocks that have to be down at least 30% over the last 20 days. Okay. So these are stocks that have been beaten up, pretty bad. And like I said, it's not for everybody, but if you know what to look for, you can really make some really good trades. And we'll just kind of go through here, see if there's anything lagging, and I am kind of one that will look at some of the fundamentals when I'm doing this, because some of these things like Bed Bath and Beyond, that, where did I see it? I'm careful. Something like this has to get above some key moving averages for me. And then when they do, it has to be doing some volume. I will trade. I think I tried it over here once real quick, but I sold it like for 10-cent loser. If I'm wrong, I get out quick. Huge short interest, 81% short float. It's not something you just jump in, but if it does kind of go sideways and starts creeping up here and gets above the 10 and the 20, you may want to keep your eye out. Something like this can, really move big, especially when the shorts get to covering. Let's see what we got here. Upstart, some of these you might want to mark up. When ARK and some of these tech stocks start selling off, they get hit pretty quick. But if this thing can get above this level right here and gets above the 20 and breaks this range right here, you might want to watch. We could have a gap fill coming up here. I'm not going to share these price alerts. I'm just going to I will share this Armageddon things. Carvana has just been beaten up right now. I don't see anything there, but I will come in here and throw an alert. If it gets above that $30 level, it will be above the 20 period then and clearing like a weekly range there. So I played this a couple of times. I made some money. I lost a little bit of money, but here's another one that looks like it's trying to fill the gap. This is one I probably would have liked to seen earlier today. I'm not going to mark that up right now, but Lyft has some work to do. You can see I got an alert in there right there. Coinbase and Riot. I mean, basically these things are going to trade with the Bitcoin. Okay, so if you kind of watch Bitcoin and they get ripping, but they're usually lockstep, aren't they, Jamie? These things with coin. All right.
That is true, Andy.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these things, they, me personally, I would like to, seen them, gotten in this morning. I mean, like that Upstart just, has a huge 31% short float. This is one that just I'd like to grab early. I didn't today. Like I said, I was too busy today putting. I was lucky I was in some stuff and I had a good day, but could have had a much better day if I wasn't preparing for a meeting. No. This is not. What do you mean by meshes with it? Yeah, this is not relative strength. And when I dropped symbols in the eye. I mean, I did drop a couple of ones, that path in the eye, and I did drop Spotify in the eye, which is doing well. I think I dropped it over here. Now I did suffer a little pullback, but here's the thing on this Spotify. Now I'm going to be honest with you. It got me out, but it shouldn't have, because it did not break this kind of range it was in, and uh, boy, just one of those days. I think I'd sold half for a profit, and then, but you can see here it was stayed in this range, and for me that was a no. Now Netflix didn't get me out, thank goodness. Shop, did not get me out, and so I did well on those. But and who wanted to watch his hood is lagging. Now I got a good price in this. I bought it back over here at like 815. Been in it, had a core position ever since then, and I bought some at 9. Anyway, possible upside down head and shoulder pattern right here, textbook. So if this thing could get going, I'm in a pretty decent position in this one. And if it breaks through these key moving averages right here, you can see if I put the cursor on it, you're going to see there it's at 975 and it's at 971. So you got two key moving averages right here, your 10 and your 20. If it gets above that early in the morning, I'd probably be adding to my position. I already got a pretty decent size, but I think it could, get back up to 11 really quick, because it has been, been lagging the others. So see what happens. All right. Well, Jamie, that's about all I have for today. I'll share this just in case anybody doesn't have it. I've shared it before. But once again, it's a different game. I get out early, sometimes too early when I'm wrong. But if they don't do what I think they're going to do, I'm usually quick on the trigger getting out. Sometimes too early, but when I hit them, though, I hit them pretty good. All right, I'll drop this Armageddon in there. For anybody who may want it. And there you go. It's in the chat panel. And let's see, the tag in the 50. Oh yes, the tag in the 50. Yes. As a matter of fact, the strength alerts are very good. I wish we had some sort of way. I mean, hey, look at this ALKS today. Did not quite get to the 50, but look at that. That's the kind of entry that I want on these things, man. When you have a strong chart, I wish it would have gone down a little bit lower, and tagged that 50. I probably would have gotten alerted to it. But yeah, I love those kind of alerts. I got no problem on a strong chart. If it sells off in the first 30 minutes of the day, buying it, especially if it's an uptrend above all its moving averages, key moving averages on the daily. That to me is, I love those kind of entries. But yes, David, these are going to be strong charts that are pulling back to your level. So yes, thought you were talking about Armageddon. I go, wait a minute, they don't two different scans there. But all right, and beyond. I'm not sure that can ever get going. Let's see the fundamentals in this thing. Yeah, I just can't. Some stocks I just can't. All right. Well, guys, that's all I have. If anybody wants to, have me look at a chart or anything like that, I'll be happy to do that. Otherwise, we'll just bring Scott in and have us walk us out of here. You guys hang on. He will have a promo code for you to get trade ideas at a reduced rate. This is my headset. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to bring in Scott. He'll walk us out, and that's all I have today. Okay. Now, no, I can't stomach beyond either, Mike. All right, Scott, you want to come walk us out of here? And
yeah, sure. Let's talk about a few things on the way out. If everyone should check out Stock Racing, I'm sure you've seen it by now. You can find out more information at trade-ideas.com/stock-race. And we've also got an update for that coming in the next week or two when we release the next beta. Some of the look and feel is going to change, and it's still the best way to visualize the gainers and other top list stats during the course of the day. If you are a premium subscriber, you can connect Brokerage Plus with Trade Ideas to auto trade directly using AI strategies. You can learn more about becoming a Brokerage Plus client by going to trade-ideas.com/IBKR. We also connect to E-Trade directly, and they're commission free. So if you're already an E-Trade client, go to trade-ideas.com/E-Trade. You can grab one of our new ebooks. Strategy Indicators is one of the newer ones, and it's got some great advice by Dave Mabe, our Director of Software Development. Just go to trade-ideas.com/strategy to get that download. And if you're not quite ready to become a Trade Ideas subscriber, for the regular subscription, we have the Strength Alerts newsletter. If you like the trade of the week, try that out. It's $17 a month. You get 5 trades every Sunday night. And go to trade-ideas.com/strength to learn about that. And now for the sale code, you got 4 days left to save 25%. We usually only offer 15% during the webinars. This is the Memorial Day test drive sale, celebrating the Memorial Day weekend, and also our successful test drive that just ended last week. Just go to Trade Idea. Just use the code TestDrive25 when you go to Trade Ideas and to upgrade your subscription from standard to premium or start any new subscription. So you got a couple days left to use that, take advantage of it. And if you have any questions, email us at the info@tradeIdeas.com email address. It goes to our help desk. You can find Steve on Twitter at TISteveG. We're also at Trade Ideas, at QuantBot, some other handles. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/trade ideas. I'm going to get the recording of this webinar up later on tonight or tomorrow, so stay tuned for an email update from GoToWebinar with a link. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice rest of your day.
Thanks, guys. I'll see some of you tomorrow.
See you next time. Bye-bye.